company. I'm walking. So happy to be walking. Happy to be walking. Thank you for the company. Walking, yes indeed, I'm walking. Oh yeah, just for me, I'm walking. Thank you for the company. I'm walking. So happy to be walking. Happy to be walking. Thank you for the company. Walking, yes indeed, I'm walking. Oh yeah, just for me, I'm walking. Thank you for the company.
Great rising. Great rising. Get your mat. Get your weights. Line up if you're walking wall to wall. I tell you, it's awful dark in this corner. I gotta find a way to lighten it up. Let me see. I did have a light, but it went. But I think I look so dark. Let me see if there's some more feeling. Thanks for coming on the walk. Did I say that? Thanks for subscribing if you're a subscriber. Yeah. Camera time. Somebody said hammer time. I said camera time. Right? Alright, let's get this stuff. Let's get this party started right.
Yes, indeed, I'm walking.
Yes. Hey, y'all. Hey, I don't know why it's so dark. I mean, dark. I don't know why, though. Alright, we're just going to have to do a dark walk for now. I got to find a way of lightening this up some. I think it's this. You know, that's the wood part, but that's my apples. But there's no light over here by the apples. So I'm going to have to get something lighter. I may have to put my ocean scene back up. It was lighter. Okay, I'm coming off again, y'all. Camera's all crooked and everything. Hold on. Hold on, Facebook. Yes. Camera issues in the house. Y'all. Well, the fact that it's crooked. But as my daughter always says, Mom, they know you're not a professional. But I think they should know that I want to be seen. And it just ain't doing it. I think because this is dark. I gotta take this down. My apples! My apple orchard. The light part up here is my light apples. This is I call my red delicious. That's a great raw isn't. I see Rob in the sky this morning. I guess I'll see Rob every day as long as I'm still on this earth. But it was something I'm supposed to talk to y'all about that I didn't do. Supposed to do it since last week. Maybe I didn't want to talk about it, you know? But here we go. Suicide. The new suicide number is 988. You can text it, or you can call it. 988. It's national, across the nation. I woke up at 1 o'clock, y'all. So, though I laid down early to rest my body, I was up since 1, y'all. So, I was like, why didn't I want to talk about that? Because the experience I had with suicide, I was a teenager. I had no say. I had no nothing. And I was down there with those cult people where nothing made sense. I mean, okay, we had a language barrier. My grandmother's name was Vicki. So we had the language barrier. But after the language barrier came the everything devil. We didn't talk devil. I never heard so much devil talk until I went down south to the Southern Baptist Church. And there was a lot of devil talk. The devil's in you, you're full of the devil. Oh gosh, all the time. All the time. And people say, oh, why don't you take responsibility for your actions? No, we had a cop out. It was given to us. It was the devil. And I was like, no, you need to take folks to the psychiatrist. Folks need to be arrested and going on. But no, it's easily pushed off to the devil. And that totally confused me. That totally confused me. And also, you didn't never do anything good. You never did anything good. Good was good was when you got to heaven. Then you can be good. Get to heaven, you be good. But other than that, good wasn't in the vernacular. And if it was towards something from the Bible. And you see how the other day I had to spell devil D-E-V-I-L? But maybe that's why I didn't want to get into this hotline, because that's the only time. And I know 988 is a new suicide hotline number. You can dial it anywhere in the USA, United States, North America. And that's the only time. It just didn't make sense. Just everything can be excused, and everybody was liars. Nobody told the truth. No one, but from that short stay with my father, everybody was a liar, but he got it from his mother. But it's to discredit people. It's like, say if a child is being abused, the parents will put out feelers that the child's a liar to the adults, the neighbors, the friends. Oh, that child lie. So when the child goes to you and says, I'm being abused, I said, your mother did say you're a liar. So that's how you keep all that poison and all that incense right there. Because everybody's totally discredited. That child loved to lie. So who are you going to go tell the truth to? So that's the only time that I ever felt suicidal. And I, as a teenager, I used to walk like I'm walking now. That's what I did as a teenager. I walked my rage down. I walked my anger down. I could be walking around Charleston. I mean, I can leave my grandmother's house on Westcott Court, walk over to, what do you call it, Meeting Street, all the way up Meeting Street to the good side of town and connect over to the Battery. Walk the rim of the Battery all the way around, come down through some streets. Can't think of that main drag. It was like 4 lanes, well, 2 lanes on each side, north, west, and east. And then I would walk past the Veterans Hospital, and there was a trail out there, and I would see it and it said mental health. So one day when it was just really too much, and then I had already threw down like aspirins, that's all my grandmother had, which let me know all I kept in my house was vitamins. And they had that commercial now. If you live in Connecticut, the pharmaceutical manufacturing company in the world, how to keep your kid from getting dope. Uh-oh, there goes my cough drop. How to keep your kids from getting dope. Or holding your prescription. But I knew that from my grandmother. She only took aspirins, and when I tried to kill myself with aspirins, it wasn't enough. She got rid of them. Any medication, anything she had in her safe inside. So we had nothing. So I took that with my daughter. All I had was vitamins. I've been dying to get her to take vitamins. So if she wanted to OD on some iron, she'd be okay because she's low on iron. So I always kept iron, stuff like that. She wanted to try to OD on some vitamin C. But anyway, so I had to ask her, so that was it. I didn't know anything way else because I was thinking life. I'm going back to New York. And I was going to be a writer, a successful writer. See, it's in the wording. I said writer. Never added successful. So I am a writer. Success is coming. I manifested the writing, but the word in front. Successful, wealthy. You got to be very, very exact when you're manifesting, but they didn't teach manifestation. Anyway, so I remember, and just one time I was like, oof. And then I saw the mental health place. And I said, let me go in there and see if somebody can help me. And met with someone, and we talked, and what she said is, the first time I heard it, she says, you know what it is? She says, I want to show you how to cope with the situation, to deal with the situation. She didn't say I was wrong. She didn't say I was lying. She didn't say anything like that. She said she would teach me how to deal with the situation. So we came to the groups. Like I said, remember I told you I was running up in the hills of South Carolina, hillbillies. I walk every day because I got to tell you, I don't know how I'm still going. Maybe they wouldn't touch me because they was like, if we touch her, then all them Yankees gonna come down here. Anyway, so I walked in there as a teenager. And I didn't say anything to my grandmother. They didn't say anything to me about billing, but they contacted her. And I found out later that she was paying for the sessions I went to. And then after that, I said, let me find something to do to make me feel good. And again, in my walking, I always walked by the Veterans Hospital. And again, just as my mind focused in on it, I saw a candy-striped girl walk out of the hospital, and I said, I want to do that. And I literally, she passed me. I saw her coming out, but by the time I rounded the block and cut through the parking lot, I used to always cut back and forth through the parking lot, and went up the ramp to go inside. We passed one another. And I was a candy stripe. I was out of the situation. And my grandmother was always wanted to be a nurse. So the fact that I was a candy stripe made her very happy, because she thought that was the ladder to me becoming a nurse. Yes. And that's how I handled my suicide. I went and got help. I literally walked in there and I said, you gotta help me. Yeah, I was about 16 when it got really bad. I said, you gotta help me. You really gotta help me. And then I was still volunteering, and then I got a job, so I was volunteering, choir, job. I was so busy. And of course, walking. Still walking 45-minute, hour and a half, walking. By the time I walked in that door, if I didn't work, I walked. If I didn't volunteer, I walked. If I didn't have choir, I walked. Just to stay out of the house. And to be able to come home and literally be so calm and lame that basically all I could do is sit and look at them. I didn't have enough energy within me to get angry. I could defend myself, I could throw a few blows, and I had enough energy that if they really pissed me off, I can give you what for. But basically, I just walked to get rid of that energy. That's why I can't understand how you seniors aren't doing some form of exercising. Something to exert yourself. Something to get rid of those aggressions, get rid of a lot of stuff that we have. Been here 64 years, I got shit. And they say, she got shit with her? Absolutely. I got 64 years worth of shit with me. 65 November. So, that's how I handled my suicide crisis. So at 16, coming on 14, I saw my daughter sitting there, because maybe it was a thing. I thought it was me, get the whole South Carolina thing, but on the other hand, as a mother, I started looking at it and saying, maybe you're supposed to be doing more at 16. So, I started her doing more. She started doing more at really 13. She started volunteering with me. I worked for a nonprofit, and she volunteered at the nonprofit. And from her volunteering at the nonprofit, she was able to get jobs, because she didn't have her working papers yet. But she was able to get, so it's like 13, 14. She was able to, 14, she was able to get little babysitting jobs, like mom and dad are going out to dinner. You know, like that. Because I live right in town. She babysitted for, we didn't live far from them. So I could get to her like that. So that was cool. And They paid her very well. Very, very, very well. And then from her volunteering, that's how she got employed in the summertime at the Round Hill Country Club, thanks to her friend Christine. They call her Holly. I don't know her last name now. They drove back and forth together. So, for like 2 years. And I just knew she had to get moving, because I know it's an imbalance of hormones and stuff like that, and the body's going through all that stuff. But what worked for me was moving and exercising. And that's what I did with her. And taking our walks. We walked. We had no choice sometimes. And sometimes I was like, let's go to White Plains. If she was gruff that day, I was like, ooh, let's go to White Plains. I didn't want to go to White Plains. But we'd have to walk 1.5 miles to get to the bus stop. And by the time we got to the bus stop, I had my daughter back. She was laughing. She was giggling. All that aggression we lost in that 1.5 miles. So we do sports stuff. But definitely walking. I see that little sitting there too long, the TV sitting there too long. That to me instantly says, uh-oh. Not I don't mind Devil's Workshop. That was another thing. See the devil? I didn't say that to her. I said, let's get moving. Let's do something. You feel better if you do something. So the new suicide hotline across the nation is 988. If you need to call somebody, call somebody. It's hard around here, y'all. Take it from an African-American woman, 64 years old, honey, fighting racism, whew, all the way through. Fight with my mother, fight with my grandmother, then fight better racism, y'all. So I know how it feels to have a lot on you sometimes. But call somebody. 988. Call somebody. Say, hey, you know what? I wish I could remember the exact words I said when I walked into that, as a teenager, I walked into that mental health. I'm quite sure I said, somebody got to help me. So that's what you call them. Somebody got to help me. Because this is too much. I don't know how to deal with it. And she taught me how to deal with it. And the first thing she taught me that it wasn't me. Call a 988 if you're feeling suicidal. It ain't you. Trust and believe. You just need to know how to get around all that stuff. But it ain't you.
Oh yeah, just for me, I'm walking. Thank you for the company. I'm walking.
Yo, camera.
I'm walking. So happy to be walking. Happy to be walking. Thank you for the company. Walking. Yes, indeed, I'm walking. Oh yeah, just for me, I'm walking. Thank you for the company. I'm walking. I'm walking. So happy to be walking. Happy to be walking. Thank you for the company.
Yeah.
Yes, indeed, I'm walking. Oh yeah, just for me.
Let me show y'all. Let me show y'all before I start
Thank you for the
shifting.
company. I'm walking,
Remember, I put lemon in my water.
I'm walking. So happy to be walking. Happy to be walking.
Woo, let's knock this out
Thank you
right
for the
fast, y'all.
company.
Yeah, y'all. 988. Don't be ashamed, because it ain't you. There was an old saying, people make you kill people. Get some help, because it ain't you. Okay? It ain't you. All this going on in the world, especially if you thought you were in a secure America. Oh my goodness. About 2 years ago, 3 years ago, they said there was an earthquake, but there was an earthquake. Now all the poison that's in the mud is hatching out. But call 988, y'all, if you feel like doing yourself in because of somebody else. So the first thing they can let you know, it ain't you. It's not you. It's the environment, people you're around, that you need to weave your way through. And call 988 so they can give you somebody to talk to that'll let you know. Just take this step to the right. You see that annoying, complaining person that you can't get away from? It ain't you. You went out and voted. You voted all your life. And all this crapola. It ain't you. I'm not giving you a scapegoat. You gotta learn how to move around it, through it. And you gotta know that you do. And then after a while, you don't even see that annoying person. Even if the process is shut down your brain when you see them. You know how sometimes you get that, like, how you get this dumb look when you look at people? It's the, I ain't gonna say nothing. Because if I say something, one of us gonna be dead. So you just don't say nothing. 988, y'all. It ain't you. It's not you. That's the first thing you gotta know. But talk to somebody so they can help you find out what it is. And I'm telling you, at 16, when I went in there and talked to those people, I've never had thoughts of suicide again. They told me exactly what. Did you see me walking 45 minutes? I've been in quarantine since 2019 when we found out it was going on. I've been in quarantine. Go out, couple minutes, half hour the most, run to a couple of stores, not too many stores, and I come back in. And I walk 45 minutes a day, and I stretch for 15, I ride my bike for 10. I do everything to get rid of the anxiety, the loneliness. You gotta do something. You gotta do something. But if you don't know what to do, and all you can think of doing is hurting yourself, 988, so they can help you. and redirect you. Now, abruptly changing subjects. I went and got, y'all know I've been getting pedicures because the last time I used the things that clip my toenails, I took off the top of my toenail. I mean, the little tip of my toe, a little skin that was doing a little bleedy. So at that point, I was like, okay, Vicki, go get a pedicure. And I went for my first pedicure in my life, because I've always been able to do my foot, keep it soft, take care of it. 3 months ago. And I go every month. So then, see, no nails? I was looking at my nails. And I don't like the feel of emery board that all of a sudden now it gets to me. And again, I was using the clipper. My sight's going. And I clipped a little too close on the hand, on the finger. And I said, well, you know what? Maybe it's time for you to go in and have somebody cut them too. So I went and had those clipped. So that was the first time I had a manicure. I remember last time I had a manicure. I was 26 years old. And I was going on this boat ride in New York City. They have it down at the harbor, 42nd Street. It goes around the Statue of Liberty, and it has 3 floors and different music on every floor, and it was done by the correctional officers. So I went and got all duded up, nails and everything. And it always makes me laugh when I see something on TV where someone gets nails and then they got to use a phone or something like that. That was me. So that was the last time. Because I could do it myself. I found out how to do the glue. I worked at Robert Fion's beauty school. I learned quite a few tips from the students and from watching. So I would do it myself. And then at the gym, I would just clip it down. But I could see. I mean, I could see, but I could see better. And as the lady told me at the nail salon place, she said, oh, when did you start having, trouble seeing? I said, well, started at 58, but I was still good. I wasn't drawing any blood. Sometimes I cut a little too close, but no blood was I drawing. So I kept doing my hand and nails. But now she said, how old are you? I said, I'm 65. She said, when did you go? I said, 58. She said, oh, usually people go in the 40s. And I was like, she's just being kind. Because I know people at 40 don't go through this eye stuff too much. Maybe I could be wrong. Anyway, she said, how do you want it? I said, no emery board. Just clip, 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 clip. Clip them down, and then she got my cuticles. And she said, that's it? And I said, yeah. See, how did I put this? Aluminum is in deodorant. And once I accepted that, that's how you change. You accept certain things. Did a little research. And I was like, oh. And again, I've never had those mammograms or any other things like that. But I kind of put together, especially at the time that I put that together, folks was having hysterectomy, they probably still having it, or was it vasectomies, where your breasts cut off? I mean, like crazy. And I said, holy cow. Is it because of the aluminum in the deodorant? And then myself said to myself, just say yes it is and start find another way to do deodorant. So I went natural first. Didn't work good. So I had to take undershirts and wipes. So then I said to myself, well, why don't I just do undershirts and wipes? Then I found a little cap full of peroxide in some water, and you wipe underneath your arms, and that takes away the odor. And the less that you use deodorant, the smell of the odor is still there because we're humans and we excrete stuff out of us, so you still have that smell, but not the same. So that's how I do. I just stopped. Then I stopped shaving underneath my arms because as Africans we have curly hair and that causes bumps, which also I related back to the breast cancer thing. So I've always been, what do they call it, proactive, not reactive. So that's why I want to tell y'all I got my nails done. Not showing off anything, just that just had to have it done. And it makes me think, so scary that now they say, oh, you have a doctor, you can go to the doctor. Doctors are not manicurists, and they're not going to be manicurists. They're doctors. They can do a diagnosis on you and make way more money. I'll give you an example. I have what they call a hamatose. When I was younger, they kept saying the shoes, because my mother had skates, so they kept giving us these shoes that were supposed to take care of the hamatose. And we had drop arches. Because we're supposed to have high arches. Because we have drop arches, something wrong with us. And I saw so many people in my lifetime with drop arches that walk just like I do. Anyway. They're doctors, they don't want to do a pedicure. So they sit on my foot, and one doctor said, I'm not gonna cut that toe. You're not gonna come in here and I'm just gonna work on that toe. Oh, we're gonna break it and set it. I looked at her like, you're a doctor. But I know some doctors that do crack. Crack is whack. No. So I was like, okay. I love my feet. And if you feel like that about my feet, you ain't got to touch my feet. You ain't got to put a hand, nothing on my feet. Act like you ain't never seen my feet. And I never went back. So that's another thing Medicare can't cover for me. Because they said, go to a podiatrist, go for the... After a while, they want surgery. That money ain't enough for them. And they're not pedicures. So that's another thing I got to pay doctors for in the Medicare that I won't use. I can't even tell y'all. I try not to think about Medicare. I try not to think about it. It's a huge disappointment. Huge. Many letters as I wrote as a young person, whatever I did, the Republicans still was able to get in there and take their vampiric teeth and stick it in Medicare and Social Security and suck all the money out for their own personal gain. Folks dying. There's about 1 million old people died from COVID. You think you see any increase from Social Security? There's a lot of people who was collecting money, ain't collecting money no more. You think it go back in the pot? For me not to have to pay doctors out of the little scrap that I'm getting? Nope. Nope. It goes to the defense. I think Ukraine got it. When 45 was around, Mar-a-Lago got it, and all his hotels, and all the people therein, they got it. They got it. So I have to pay every month for doctors that I will do my darndest never to see. Ever. Ever. Working on getting myself to that point of weaning. Gonna have to find a naturalist. I don't call them doctors. The naturalist. So she can tell me how to wean myself off this blood pressure crap. And then that's it. Then I'm living life. Then I'm living life. And it don't include going to sit in front of no white man to judge me all my life. I've sat in front of white men or women to judge me. And I ain't doing it no more. Well, what's wrong with you is, but as I found out when I did medical billing and coding, how the doctors how doctors get in your life is when, an accident, they're excellent for that, they can put you back together. But other than that, no. No. They don't want to live in the neighborhood that you live in. Barely don't want to touch you. And I don't want them touching me. Every time a doctor has touched me, I've been in severe pain after they left. Like, does this hurt? Does this hurt you? And I say, yes. They say, oh, it's cancer. And I'm like, no, it was you pressing down on my arm. I have a goal that if you should see the way, till I tell them, don't touch me. They used to grab it. Don't touch me. Do not touch me. And as I learned in medical, you have to have a complaint to get a doctor in your life. I'm not complaining on me to nobody. I'm healing me. I'm drinking me. My water. I'm eating me vegetables. I'm keeping me positive attitude. And my zest for life and my excitement. And keep them sparks flying. I still touch stuff and sparks go off. And that's what I'm keeping. So no, I have no desire to talk to you. I've learned so many things now. And we got Googles. When something go wrong, yes, I go to Dr. Googles. They said, oh, don't trust Dr. Googles. He's in my neighborhood and you ain't. Never understood it. They don't like you. They don't want to live in your neighborhood. They don't want to be around you. They don't want you to, but you go and you trust your whole life to them. You go and lay down on a bed in the hospital and let them cut you every which way but loose. knowing all the time they can't stand you. They think you're a ball on the backside of society and want to cut you off, but you're just happy. That's the current day Jesus, so he gonna heal me. Whew. No, no thank you. No thank you, ma'am. No thank you, no thank you, no thank you, no thank you. I'm good. I don't want no contact with him. If push comes to shove, I don't know how I can find me. Y'all heard me say this before. That's why I'm so angry at Elizabeth Holmes. I wanted that to be real more than she did. I wanted to be able to go and take a drop of my blood and get it tested, find a good African American doctor anywhere in the nation, send him my results, and we can do our care like that. You know, I called him on the phone for my appointment. He said, you got a drop of your blood. We see everything is fine. You're doing good. Keep doing what you're doing. I said, thank you very much. And he said, okay, and he hung up the phone. That's what I wanted. That's what I wanted. That's all I wanted. Because they'll see my border is working beautifully. Always has. 21-day cycle, 28-day cycle, and at the end, back down to 21. Bam, over at 45. Bam, over at 55. Just little things to keep it lubricated. Sustained. I have a 10-pound range. From that, I go through winter, summer, that's natural because I'm a mammal. But when they see they touch it, oh, so how you? What are you? I'm like, stop touching me. Even from the point that they lift your hand to touch, to take you to, you ain't got to squeeze my hand that tight. I don't mess around with them, y'all. I don't mess around with them. Every time I left the doctor's office, I have been in pain, not relief, but in pain. Because I know how to take care of pain. So if I had any pain, I know how to take care of it. But when I go see them, last time the doctor pressed my stomach, I almost jumped up off that table and punched him in his face. I was like, you won't catch a case. You better stay away from these people. Let's do 10. Neither up nor down. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Almost good luck. Whew. Okay. Yeah, y'all. I tell you. Tuck your elbow in and say before, squeeze your gut. Neither up nor down. 10. And one for good luck. Yeah. Yeah. 988, y'all. Suicide hotline. Suicide hotline. If you feel you need to talk to someone, you need someone, it does, this world gets rough. I told y'all I've been black in America for 64 years. Trust and believe. I know how to outrun suicide. Because it's with you every day. Even now. Even now. More so now as we get older. If you ain't exercising, take down that 988 number when it get too much. When the doctors talk to you like you're nothing, and you say, listen, I've been on this earth longer than you. When they prescribe so much medication that it takes all your food money, all your food money on prescription and stuff that he know you don't need, and you know you don't need. But he got investments in the pharmaceutical company. So what you expect? Let's see. All right. Hey y'all. Thanks for coming on the walk. Hey. Yeah.
Thank you for the company. I'm walking.
We did it, y'all.
I'm walking.
45 minutes. 45 minutes. And I have been up since 1 o'clock. Not sitting up, but awake. Let's knock this water off. And that's what lets me know, if you go back to my early videos, this is all I wanted. I wanted to be able to walk and exercise no matter what's going on in my life. So what? At 1 o'clock I was up. My body was like, time to go walking. We walking. Let's knock down this water. I put a little lemon in my water. Yeah. Please like, comment, share. Tell a friend, tell an auntie, tell an uncle, tell a cousin. Remember the suicide hotline number is 988. 988. You can text or you can dial. Don't be ashamed. I gotta tell you, I walk right in there. I don't even know who saw me, because the sign said big mental health. And I was like, yes, I was 16. Hormones all over the place, in that cult, in that incestuous environment. Never seen anything like it before. And I walked in there and they said, listen, come to the right place. We just gonna tell you how to get through it. And she did. I remember the counselor. I remember her. I have a picture of our little girl in my book now from all those years. And one thing she said, first thing she said, it put me totally at ease. Excuse me. She says, not you. Like she knew. It's not you. I was like, thank you, because I thought I was going crazy. That's why I wanted to get out of here. And she was like, no. And she put it together. 988. 988. Suicide hotline.
Yes, indeed.
Yep. It's a lot going on, y'all. It's a lot going on. Ain't we got the monkeypox now? You may want to call somebody. Just cause you got the monkeypox don't mean the world is over with. Just mean you got the monkeypox. People got the chicken pox. People got this COVID. People got the this. People got the that. People got the everything. That don't mean nothing. Ain't nothing go killing yourself over. Just call 988 and get you some help. Let's knock this out.
Thank you for the company. I'm walking, I'm walking, I'm walking, I'm walking. So happy to be walking. Happy.
I may be a little slow, because see, I knocked out my water a little late again this morning. I had to make up my bed and everything. Well, they're like, pull the sheets off and everything. Yep. And I was on that mat this morning, oohing it on as I was stretching out these legs. Why in the wood? Hey, kisses to my cousin Terry. Thanks, cousin, and to Yvonne, and to Penelope, and Loretta, and Charles, and Nielsen, and a few more. Thanks for coming on the walk. Let's knock out the rest of this water, right?
Yes, indeed. I'm walking. I'm walking. Just walking. I'm walking. Thank you for the company. I'm walking. I'm walking. I'm walking. I'm walking. So happy to be walking. Happy to be walking.
Yeah.
Thank you for the company.
I got my beat going, y'all. Thanks for coming on the walk. Like, comment, share, tell her uncle, tell her auntie, tell her cousin. Like, comment, share, subscribe. Thanks for coming on the walk. I'll see you in the morning. Have a great day. Have a great day.
So happy.